It's about that time of day again, folks. You know who this is. JJ here, School Trade. Sideways Markets. Here's your trade of the day and your trade room recap. Had another fantastic day today with our lifetime members in our live trade room. Again, don't forget, advanced members get full unlimited lifetime access to our live trade room, including all kinds of perks that come along with the advanced membership. There are some very interesting resources in every single one of our membership packages, so make sure you guys go and check them out. Schooltrade.com, you can get much more information there. You're not here to learn about our courses right now. You're here to learn about the trade of the day today. As you can see here, had some very nice volatility on crude oil this morning. I had a call with Traders Audio this morning where we discussed our morning prep this morning, and I want to show you a great example today of two things. One, the use of our anchor charts, our buy zones and sell zones, and two, a little technique we call a token print. Now, the first thing we did this morning, again, we're going to be doing a live broadcast every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Traders Audio, doing our detailed crude oil technical analysis. This morning was our first time doing it. We'll be sending out more information to you guys and gals here next week. But the first thing we did this morning on our morning prep, remember, as a member of mine, I'm going to give you an entire morning prep checklist. And this entire checklist is going to tell you exactly what to do each morning and how to do it. See, it's amazing how fast you can learn when I give you a formal plan. And then every day together, you and I, we go out and we execute that plan together, right? Talk about easy to learn when you're learning by doing. So I give every one of our advanced members their entire daily and morning routine, what to do first, what to do last, and what not to do at all. That way, every single one of our members knows every day the exact same thing they need to be doing. And then they can hone their skills by coming in and joining me every morning, watching me go over the entire morning prep. Now, this morning's prep, we logged right into the course materials and we grabbed our daily price levels. So the first thing I did today was I logged right into the course materials. I went right to the search box and I searched for daily price levels. The daily price levels are posted every evening before 9 p.m. Eastern Time. These are the same price levels that I use every day in our live trade room. So our trial members, our beginner, intermediate, and advanced members of the School of Trade, all every evening before 9 p.m. can use those daily price levels to trade overnight in the Asian session, to trade the London session the following morning, or to use it like I did this morning in the U.S. morning session. The bottom line is these daily price levels, they should be called golden levels because they really are what we use every day to make some insane amount of profit in our live trade room. Let's take a look now at what we found in those daily price levels. Here's an example of a 30-minute chart. And I want you guys to see this 30-minute chart. Now, the timestamp on this chart is from this morning. But let's take a look at what we saw last night. Last night, when we posted our daily price levels, we located a buy zone right here. This was where we found the buy zone last night. You'll see here by this chart, though, it's been updated a little bit because when we came in this morning at about 7 a.m. Eastern Time, right, we had already begun to rise off that buy zone. So keep in mind, this buy zone was tested, and of course, you can see here we've readjusted them. So when you look at last night's daily price levels, you're going to see the buy zone was right there. Okay. Now, how, again, remind me, guys, how do we use a buy zone? A buy zone's pretty easy, right? We're going to wait for price to test the buy zone, and then once it reverses, because we never try to predict, right? I'm not that good at predicting. You might be, but I'm not that great at predicting things. So why try to predict? Let's react. I know that once the price bounces off that buy zone and starts to rise higher, that tells me without any doubt in my mind there's enough demand in the marketplace to keep prices rising higher. Well, in this example, we rise off that buy zone and look what we have here. At 8 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, we have ourselves sitting in a sell zone. Now, I told you how to trade a buy zone. How do you think we trade a sell zone? Well, ultimately, what we're looking for is we're looking for price to leave the sell zone. Either leave the sell zone going lower, where we will sell short using our entry trigger indicator, and of course, we'll take our profit off at the next buy zone. Or if price was to go sideways, we would have to sit on hands and wait for price to either break a new higher high, right, or reverse and go lower. If price was to go higher, I'm now going to, again, using my simple indicator package, I'm going to plot my entries and I'm going to buy now up to the next sell zone. Think about it. What's a sell zone? A sell zone is where supply enters the market. Okay, we probably all learned this back in high school or possibly in the first few chapters of Trading Books 101. We learned that the markets like to go from support to resistance, from supply to demand, right? That's what we learned about in school. And they weren't lying to us. These markets love to go from supply to demand, from demand back to supply, from support to resistance, from overbought to oversold, right? There's a million ways to describe it. So when we go up and we test a supply zone, if there's too much demand, we're going to find out right away and we're going to see it go right on through. When it goes right on through, that's when I can take my trade long, buying right up to the next sell zone. This morning, though, what happened? This morning, we found ourselves, we bounced off a buy zone up into a sell zone. So our exact prep this morning is we said we've got one of three scenarios. If we go higher, we're buying above the highs of that zone. All right. In fact, the actual number was above 88.15. That was actually the number we had projected this morning was our line in the sand. Scenario one, if price goes higher, we're going to be buying. Scenario two, if price was to go sideways, we're going to sit on hands and we're going to be patient. Scenario three, if price moves lower, leaving the sell zone, we now know there was enough supply to satisfy the demand and price will naturally now gravitate towards the next demand level. Now, if you open up a real-time chart, you'll notice what really happened. What really happened was we went from buy zone to sell zone, from sell zone all the way back down to buy zone. And just as we finished up the morning session with our members in the trade room today, price had just taken back off, leaving the buy zone and back up to the sell zone. Guys, I'm not making this stuff up. These levels are posted every evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. They really do work this well. I'm looking forward to teaching you how to find these levels on your own as well. It's easy. It's not difficult. And then, of course, the most important thing is I'm going to give you a trading plan that you need to be able to capitalize on these levels. That's the key. Okay? Just because I've got a great business idea or a trade idea doesn't mean I can get away without having a business plan. My trading plan that I'm going to give each and every one of our members, intermediates and advanced, those trading plans are going to tell you exactly what to be doing. All right. So remember that number, 87.80 and then 86.65. Now let's see what happened on the chart. So we came to the conclusion that we were looking for either a higher high above 15 to get long, or if we start seeing it move lower, we're getting short. Next in, now we have, oh, don't cheat. There we go. Now, fast forward now. Now here is one of my favorite charts. This is a 5-minute chart. In the trade room, you'll hear me call this the VIP chart. It's just a simple chart that I think really works well on most intraday markets. It shows enough, but not too much, right? Another equivalent of this would be something like a 377 or a 786 tick chart, something like that. I like time charts because time is an important variable when it comes to trading. Okay, time and price. Think of market profile. The amount of time we spend right at a certain price is important. Plus time bars, they'll also give you the big wicks, those big fat candlestick bodies, and that will give you an idea of what's really going on inside of that candle. In my humble opinion, time charts are the most wise. They're the wisest. There's a lot of wisdom in those candlesticks. I teach candlestick analysis all day, every day in our live trade room. I would encourage you to come out and see me, and I'll teach you how to do it. Now, what do we notice here? Well, again, remember, we already did the prep. What did the prep tell us? the prep told us we were looking short. Okay. Well, prep told us be ready for anything, but we're testing a sell zone. So we know that if price starts to fall, we're going short, and we're doing so confidently. The first thing we noticed this morning when we came in at 8 o'clock this morning was, whoa, look at the size of this range. Look at the size of this London trading range. This is enormous. We're used to seeing something about a third of this size. That's what we're used to seeing there for a London range. And that London session is from 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. Eastern time. Alrighty, so the first thing we see is holy Christmas, this is a very wide trading range. Okay, in the London session, they moved this thing over $1.50 in just the London session. That's a huge move in London. So going into this morning, we knew right away we are overbought. Now you might be saying, Joe, show me the indicator. Show me the reason. Why do you say you're overbought? Well, it's because I've been watching the same market on the same time frames for over a decade. You'll tend to pick something up once in a while if you watch it that consistently. And that's why you're going to really be able to reap the benefits of being a part of a trading room that's going to have a 10-year veteran, 30-year veterans. We have a lifetime community. And remember, we don't charge monthly fees. So now our membership community never leaves. They learn new things. They come back. It's a fantastic opportunity for everybody, new traders, old traders, to be able to work together. So this morning we come in. We've seen this before. We know exactly what this is telling us. Guys, we don't normally see such dramatic moves between overnight lows and where we come in the next morning at 8 a.m. to start the U.S. morning session. So right off the bat, we say, guys, well, we're well overbought. We're well overbought. Now, you might be saying, but Joe, just because you're overbought doesn't mean you can sell short. Oh, you're absolutely right. Flip the script. What happened last week? We were oversold on crude oil almost all week, and we just kept on falling. So I'm not going to tell you that just because we're overbought, we're able to take this short trade. It doesn't work that way. Remember, I don't predict. I react. So now we need to find a reaction. What's today? Thursday morning. Thursdays are jobless claims. You got it. Now remember, I gave up watching the news cold turkey over a year ago. I don't care what the news is saying. All I care about is when the news is saying it. So again, I get this question all the time. Joe, what do I have to know about economic news? Repeat after me. Nada. All you're going to know is when the news is. That's it. Just know the time of the day the news is going to be released. You don't need to worry about what the news is actually telling us. Why not? Well, because in my humble opinion, and I've been doing this for a long time now, I've always tried, again, I gave up reading news cold turkey about a year ago. Before that, though, I used to try to dissect and completely analyze every little bit of news. Not only is it exhausting, but I found out by looking back at my own track record and reading back through my notes that the time that I took to analyze the news, the time that I took to actually think about what that news was trying to tell me, I missed amazing trading opportunities. And guess what, guys? The markets are a great aggregator of information, right? It's the reason why the markets are always right. They can't be wrong. Millions of people coming together at once, different opinions, different ages, backgrounds, demographics, different reasons to be trading. Everything is different. It's a symphony without a conductor, and a symphony when everyone is playing their instrument in a different location. It's incredible when you think about it that way. But the reality is if the markets have the wisdom of crowds, then why am I just some lonely old day trader? Why am I trying to interpret the news? See where I'm going with this? We have the world's most wisest tool, and that's the market, the wisdom of crowds. So I'm not going to worry about the news. I want to know when the news is, and we do that every morning at 8 o'clock. We make sure everybody's aware of when that news is. We also have a series of alarm clocks that go off to remind us not to trade directly into the news. And I give you that all, of course, in your trading plan as a student of mine. So I'm going to give you a whole trading plan that will include how to trade the economic news. Bottom line is, if you're looking for me to tell you what the news report came out as, I don't know. I have no idea what that 8:30 news came out as. But check out what happened. At 8:30 news, again, we know we're overbought. This is the biggest clue we got all morning. Bam. That's what we call a token print. Now watch what happens after this candle closes. Remember, we already know we're looking to sell short if we fall. But we also knew that we had to get a higher high. Remember we said it again? 88.15. Look at that. 88.14. Remember we said 88.15 would be where we'd be looking to get long? But remember, I'm not putting a limit order to get long there. I'm going to look to buy a pullback above 88.15. So in order for me to get long, I need to see this price go to 88.40 and then pull back, right? I need to get one of these bad boys to happen at the highs. New higher high, pull back, right? Get me into that trade. That's what I need to get into a long position, especially since we're overbought and especially since my anchor chart told me we're right in a sell zone. So, okay, so the first candlestick right at 8:30, right? This is the 8:30 candle. This is right when the news comes out, breaks out, new higher high. But watch the next one. Big engulfing candle takes over the breakout candle, is absorbed completely by the engulfing candle. So we make a new higher high, and just as quickly as we made a new higher high, we make a new lower low. Now, members, you're probably chuckling right now because this is one of the most common little tricks that we use in our live trade room, and it's called a token print. A token print tells me that when I'm making a new high of day or low of day, when I'm making a new higher high or a lower low, and this needs to be a big one, I'm talking weekly highs, daily lows, weekly lows. When you see that 2 to 5 ticks of a new higher high, and just as quickly as it broke to the upside, it breaks right back down and fails, what more do you need than that? Clearly the higher prices were rejected. Clearly now, whatever news came out must have been viewed as bearish. Do I know? No. Do I care? Hell no. I don't care about the news. This is proof enough for me. Yeah, I know. I can't brag to my buddies at happy hour this afternoon that I know everything. I understand that. I lose that, right? I don't have that. But I can impress them with all the money we made. How about that, right? So I don't want to know everything. I want to be rich. Let the news, let the reaction from the price action tell me what to do. So immediately now, we know what's going on. The anchor chart told me, look for a sell. Overbought, right, told me, be very careful of going long. Be aware we are way overbought at 8 o'clock. And again, since we watch this market every day like clockwork, every day the same way, we've seen this before. So we know exactly what's coming. Sure enough, token print shows up next. We get short immediately once we see that token print. And you're going to see here, we found a profit target. Here's your target. Take that overnight low all the way to the swing high. There's my profit target now. Profit target here now. This is called my trigger zone. If you were watching yesterday, you saw how we used that trigger zone yesterday, and we used that trigger zone to use our symmetry pattern. And you can see what happens. We run right into that trigger zone, and just like that, 20 minutes go by, and we've made over 100 ticks of profit in our live trade room. Selling from 87.80 down to 86.80, we are able to make a handsome return on a very, very little bit of risk. Now, check this out. So there's your London session, right? 3 a.m., 7 a.m. Check out the London lows. And do you see anything here? What do we call, right? Because this is the low of day. Who was paying attention? What do we call that? You got it. Token print, right? And in the trade room, we're always saying token, right? Because this is a huge clue. So we go all the way down to the low of day. We see a token print. That token print is made even more important because it's a huge wick followed by a bullish candle, right? It engulfs the entire reversal candle. Guys, come on. Taking candy from babies on this one. Go to the high of day, token print at the highs, sell short. Now, somebody remind me here, where was that buy zone that we put on this anchor chart? Yeah, baby, that's right. 86.65. 86.65. So we went all the way down to test the buy zone, and now we're going to go all the way back up. Maybe you thought these buy and sell zones weren't that valuable. Right. Now look what happens next. Token print at the lows. There's my 86.60. I'm coming back out of the buy zone, folks. Remind me, what do we do in a buy zone? We wait for price to start rising higher. Get ready. Where are we going? Back to the sell zone. There's your sell zone, all the way back up at the highs. And now we finish all the way back up. Look at this. One more token print. Okay, maybe we'll go down to the buy zone again. Oh, I don't know. We'll see what happens here as the day finishes up. As you can see, though, what a fantastic example today. Going from sell zone to buy zone to sell zone. We used a combination of our detailed morning prep, telling us exactly what to look for this morning. These daily price levels are posted every evening at 9 o'clock for every one of our members to use. We came in this morning, we used our detailed morning prep along with those price levels. A little bit of experience looking at the London trading session of crude oil went a long way this morning, and we were able to make our members some hefty profit in a very short period of time this morning, selling on the way down, buying on the way back up. And guys, this is just another day at the office at School of Trade. Want to thank you all very much for being here today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all of our students in the live trade room today. Great job out there. I'll be gone. I will not be trading on Friday, so please be aware our live trade room will be closed up on Friday morning. I will make sure, though, this evening to do all the prep work for tomorrow. So just like clockwork, you're going to get that daily price level email from us before 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight. I will plan on seeing you guys and gals for our next trade room recap next Monday afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful afternoon. If I don't see you, stick to those plans, right? And remember, as a student of mine, you're going to learn it so you can earn it. We'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.